Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for showing up today. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jane. So guys, today I'll be bringing you guys true stories of some challenges that some people have. This is to serve as an encouragement because I know that some people are struggling. Like when you come into the UK, different people face different challenges, like different struggles. You now start asking yourself, who sent me? Or you feel like, oh, your own case is the worst. But there are people that have gone through even worse things and have come out happy and are happy with where they are. So I wanted to share some of these stories with you. So whatever it is that you're going through, you know that some people have gone through challenges as well and they went past that stage. Okay, they grew past that stage. They are happier where they are. And so just hold on, and by the grace of God, your own smile or your own story, your own testimony will come soon. Okay. Now the first one, and this was not even on the list when I made this, but this person reached out to me yesterday and shared this testimony, and so it has found its way to the top of the list. Okay, someone did not have their BRP for 3 months. Like, he came into the UK and for 3 months he couldn't work, he couldn't fend for his family. Some of you may not understand, so let me give you guys like a brief story. Some people have this no work, no business on their BRPs, and then when you come in, you want to make that correction before you can start working, because of course you need your BRP to work to show that you're permitted to work in the UK. Now they had that same issue from Nigeria. They came to change it here and then did their submission as soon as they came into the UK. But guys, guess what? It took 3 months with constant follow-up, like sending emails non-stop before that could happen. The guy was lamenting, complaining to me because it was a whole lot of stress being in the UK, paying all the bills. And you guys know what the exchange rate is. Like, if you even have naira, you're converting it to pounds to pay for your rent, pay your bills and all without having a source of income in pounds. You can tell it will mess up your system, mess up your brain. Like, you will begin to have nightmares. Okay, that's what this family went through. But thank God, praise God, they now have their BRPs. Hopefully he gets something very good. You that you're thinking, oh my God, I came into the UK for 2 weeks now, my correction never happened, I've not been able to work. Know that somebody stayed 3 months and in the end they smiled. I'm not saying yours will last 3 months, that's not my prayer for you, but I just want to encourage you so that you know that some people have seen worse, and hopefully your smile will come. Okay, let me give you guys a an explanation so that you understand what happened. So she came in. I have these stories because some of them are kind enough to share their success story with me. Okay, so she came into the UK with her family of 4. Now they were family of 3 when she came in. She came in pregnant, and then her friend's family also were a family of 3, and they lived in a 2-bed. So you know how, oh, I don't have somewhere to stay, let me just chill with you guys so we can find accommodation. And the friend was kind enough to let them stay, and she was pregnant and all. So they started looking for accommodation, and this took months. Okay, they stayed in that house for such a long time that they had to have their baby in that house because they didn't even get accommodation. So it was not an easy thing because, you know, having, first of all, if you've had a baby, you know, you want your space, you know, you want to, you know, relax, you know, the whole postpartum thingy. You don't want to be in somebody's space at that time, but they had no option, and the friend was kind enough to house them. So practically they were 7 people: the family of 3, which is the friend's family, and her family, which is now family of 4, and with the new baby, of course, had to stay in a 2-bed. This is not ideal for a 2-bed, you guys know. And so a lot of struggles had to go in. But after baby came, they got a house. Looked like baby came with good luck because they got a house, they moved out, and then she shared with me. I mean, when she talks about that experience, I can even, like, when I even think about it, I'm like, my goodness. But these are the kind of things that happen. Okay, so whatever it is you're going through, think about this story. So here's another story. She came into the UK with her family, but they couldn't get school placements for the kids. So this one, Unlike the other one that didn't find accommodation, this one they got accommodation when they came in. I think they stayed in an Airbnb, I can't remember now, but they got an accommodation, moved to the house, everything was working fine. But when they checked for schools around the place where they got accommodation, there was no available space for her kids. Okay, so they told her to hold on. The council told her to hold on, and she was like, okay, at all, maybe a couple of weeks they'll get back to me so that I can start working, because with kids in the house it's difficult to work, for both parents to work. Okay, so the husband, who was the student, had to go to school and had just 20 hours. So she, who was the dependent, the plan was to work full time. For some reason, they had to stay, or she had to stay at home with the kids when the husband went to school. And the husband's timetable wasn't very favorable, because you know how sometimes you can go to school as a master student twice a week. He had to go to school every day of the week, and it wasn't so close to home, so there was commute time and all. In all that, the times that she had to work was greatly reduced. She barely worked, so income was a problem. They struggled because he had school fees to complete, they had to pay rent, they had to do bills and all. But they couldn't do full-time work because she had to stay home with the kids, and they could not afford childcare. Okay, so these are some of the struggles that people face when they come to the UK. I'm saying this here so that you're aware that sometimes it's all rosy for some people. Sometimes some people face challenges but overcome. So wherever you are, whatever stage you're in, just have that in mind. Okay, whatever you're doing, just pray to God that your story goes in your favor. You get, like, pray, ask for favor. It's very important. This is not to say that people who have gone through challenges did not pray, but you get my point. I'm sharing this here so that you'll be encouraged. Okay, this one was this one was very funny when she told it to me, because I actually pictured her. She was telling me how, because of accommodation issues, a lot of people, families, face accommodation issues. I don't know what it is now. I think it has even gotten worse, but last year was really bad. So she was telling me how when she came in, they couldn't get accommodation and they stayed at a friend's. But the challenge was not even with the friend's family; it was the landlord, because for some reason the neighbors reported that they were seeing so many people in the house. So the landlord was doing like random checks. Just tell them, oh, I'm coming in today, and then the next thing he's at the door to find out how many people are in the house. So she was saying that her and her family, like practically her and her kids, when there's a knock at the door, they'll first look who they come, the landlord, and everybody's hiding, trying to hide. You don't want the landlord you don't want to get the people that you're staying in the house into trouble with their landlord. Okay, and so they were hiding. And then she told me that sometimes, or one day, she said, and she thought to herself, like, me now, maybe this me we get like 5 bedroom duplex for Naija, and I come here, they hide from landlord. But these are the challenges that people face. Like, I'm laughing because picturing it, like when she told me about it, I actually laughed. And she laughed about it because she's gone past that stage. Yeah, like I said, these are some of the things that people go through. So be encouraged. Okay. The last one I'm going to tell you, there's so many stories. People have shared stories, and I can't even give you guys all the stories here, but I'm just bringing some of them so that you know that these things happen, and whatever it is that you're facing, you know that this time will pass. As this one, she was pregnant in the UK. So she came in and became pregnant in the UK. She was the dependent. Her husband was the student. Okay, so you guys know that the whole plan with coming as dependent, or dependent to work full time while the husband can work 20 hours and face school, whatever. But she now got pregnant, and her first trimester was in her words, was a struggle. Like, she was in and out of the hospital a lot, so she couldn't work, and she couldn't get like anything. She couldn't even like get remote jobs to say let's work from home. She couldn't go to work, she couldn't do anything. She was in and out of the hospital. She was even now more stress added to the students, because of course he had to take her to the hospital when there was need to, and all that. So because of that, they struggled. There was no income. They managed until first trimester was over. She started working in the second trimester, but she said that that first 3 months was so hard that they struggled with their finances. They barely survived on what the guy was making for 20 hours, and they still had PM to pay school fees and all that. So yeah, that I mean, when I think about some of the struggles that people go through, or some of the struggles that immigrants go through, it's just something to be thankful for if you have passed that stage. And then people who are just coming in, or people who are still in their struggle, just be encouraged that this too will pass. Okay, by the grace of God, you get to that stage where you're talking about it, where you're laughing about it, where you're sharing your testimonies and encouraging other people. But if you're still in that season right now, just be, know that you're not in it alone. God will see you through by the grace of God. Okay. So guys, that's it. I just wanted to share this. It just crossed my mind to share this for whoever is struggling right now. Know that this happens. All right, I will see you guys in my next video. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button now. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and loved ones. People who you think are struggling will find this helpful, so share this video with them. Like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye guys.